what I'm saying, because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out.
Qerim argued that although Caitlin Clark has clearly attracted massive crowds and boosted interest in women's basketball, she has not necessarily improved the overall quality of play. In her view, Clark's style is flashy and entertaining but lacks the substance needed to truly elevate the sport. Qerim essentially portrayed Clark as more of a performer who generates attention and impressive numbers than a player who represents the fundamentals and integrity of basketball. Much of her criticism appeared to center on Clark's heavy use of three-pointers and highlight-worthy plays, which some critics believe come at the expense of team basketball, defense, and strategy. However, that argument becomes difficult to defend when Clark's actual career is examined. During her time at Iowa, Clark shattered numerous records and established herself as one of the most complete and dominant players in women's basketball. She was never simply a scorer. Her passing ability was just as impressive, and she consistently ranked among the team leaders in assists. Her basketball IQ allowed her to recognize plays before they developed, find passing lanes others could not see, and deliver difficult passes that constantly created opportunities for her teammates. The statistics also challenge the idea that Clark is simply an entertainer. She does far more than launch three-pointers. She creates offense, attacks defenses, controls the pace, and forces opponents to adjust their entire game plans around her. Her impact extends beyond scoring as well, because she has shown the ability to compete defensively, create steals, and take on difficult assignments. So when Qerim claims that Clark has failed to raise the level of women's basketball, it overlooks how often Clark has pushed the boundaries of what players at her position can accomplish. Her style has forced defenders to change their strategies and challenge teammates to perform at a higher level. And Qerim was not the only ESPN personality facing criticism for questioning Clark's impact. Monica McNutt also entered the conversation when she predicted that if Chicago finished ahead of Indiana, she would give the Rookie of the Year award to Angel Reese, a prediction that ultimately did not happen.
Is on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league, and she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement. Targeted by society, targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation, targeted by the disrespect that they've shown to the WNBA. There's a huge target on this kid's back. I thought Cameron Brink said something really smart. She said, no, they're expecting this rookie class to be perfect. This rookie class isn't even one of the best rookie classes in the last 10 years.
One of the biggest strengths of Caitlin Clark has always been her consistency. Night after night, she produces numbers that make it difficult to dismiss her impact. During the 2021 to 2022 season, Clark averaged around 27 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds per game, numbers that would be considered MVP level almost anywhere. Throughout her college career, she repeatedly delivered 30-, 40-, and even 50-point performances, while helping Iowa secure important victories. So when critics like Qerim describe Clark as more entertainment than substance, they overlook how important those performances were to her team's success. Iowa's success was closely connected to Clark's ability to create offense, score at an elite level, and consistently deliver when her team needed her most. Her huge scoring totals were not simply about personal attention. They demonstrated just how valuable she was to the team. Clark's accomplishments provide even more evidence. She became a unanimous first-team All-American, made history as the first Big Ten player to record 1,000 points and 200 assists in a single season, and continued breaking scoring records throughout her career. What makes those achievements even more impressive is that she maintains strong efficiency while carrying such a massive offensive workload, shooting above 45% from the field and close to 40% from three-point range. While Clark generally allowed her performances to speak for themselves, Angel Reese became another major part of the debate. Reese, who played for LSU, repeatedly argued that she was also responsible for bringing greater attention to women's basketball and felt that the media had placed too much emphasis on Clark while overlooking her own contributions. From Reese's perspective, the public narrative had unfairly positioned her as the villain while Clark was presented as the hero.
Watch this. I have said this all season, BC. My rookie of the year is going to go based on the standings.
Okay.
Because I think that is how you have the opportunity to measure impact.
And the sky's right above them.
And the Sky right now are in the playoffs, so you'd have to give the nod in my mind to Angel Reese.
Again, what I think is happening here is this black woman is trying to play mental gymnastics and find a way to put Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark. Rookie of the year does not go to a team. That's why it's called Rookie of the Year. It goes to an individual player. So wouldn't it make sense that you would analyze their statistics and analyze individual play overall? Like, this woman is doing all types of mental gymnastics in order to come to this conclusion so she can try to place Angel Reese above Caitlin Clark in that race. When the Fever and the Future are ranked higher than the Sky, I'll be curious to see if she says the same thing. See if she then tries to maneuver to something.
But is that really the full story? Or is Reese simply keeping the rivalry alive to remain part of the spotlight? Some fans and analysts believe her attempts to frame herself as Clark's counterpart are more about generating attention than accurately describing their impact on the sport. Reese is certainly a talented player with accomplishments of her own, but critics argue that her claim of being a major reason for women's basketball's growth is overstated. At the same time, Caitlin Clark has largely avoided public drama involving Reese or other players. She has generally remained composed during interviews, rarely calling out opponents or creating unnecessary controversy. Yet despite that approach, Clark has continued to receive negative coverage from certain media personalities, while players who openly embrace controversy sometimes face less criticism. That double standard has frustrated many of Clark's supporters, who believe her success has made her an easy target. To them, it seems like some commentators are constantly searching for something to criticize about Clark, whether it involves her playing style, personality, or influence. Reese may be comfortable embracing the role of a rival, but Clark appears uninterested in turning the situation into a personal battle. Her priorities remain much simpler: improve her game, compete at the highest level, and win basketball games.
Understand, like, if they think it's personal, but when I get between the lines, if friends or anything, if my teammate right here went to play for another team, I'm going to be competitive. I'm going to talk trash to her just because I'm super competitive, and that's what we do. But off the court, we're going to kick it and have fun. So I think that's a part of the game, and just trying to normalize, like, trash talking is okay, but not taking it personal off the court. And obviously that has become a thing, and people are just trying to make it seem like it's something. But I love Caitlin, and I love her game, and I admire everything she's done.
One of the strangest parts of the Caitlin Clark controversy is the way certain media outlets have portrayed her. Despite everything she has accomplished on the court, Clark is frequently discussed in a negative way, with analysts like Molly Qerim questioning her ability and even suggesting that she is more of a spectacle than a legitimate elite player. But that raises an obvious question. Why does a player who has consistently performed at the highest level receive so much criticism? Clark has continued to break records, attract fans, and produce impressive performances, yet some commentators seem determined to focus on what they believe is wrong with her game. One possible explanation is that the media often becomes more critical of athletes who rise to fame incredibly quickly, especially when their success reaches a level that changes the entire conversation around their sport.
Watching women's basketball right now, it all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Caitlin Clark's rise has been incredibly fast, and some critics seem uncomfortable with how quickly a young player has changed women's basketball. Her success has brought new fans, packed arenas, and record ratings, yet instead of celebrating that impact, certain analysts and former WNBA players continue to question whether she has truly earned the attention. That criticism also highlights a double standard, because young male stars like LeBron James were celebrated for dominating early, while Clark has often faced skepticism for doing something similar. The reality is that Clark has earned her spotlight through talent, hard work, and elite performances. Her impact goes beyond individual statistics because she has helped introduce countless new viewers to women's basketball and shown how much potential the sport has. Rather than treating her success as a threat, the basketball community should recognize it as an opportunity for the entire WNBA. Clark's critics can continue questioning her, but her performances and growing legacy will ultimately speak louder than the criticism. She is not making a mockery of women's basketball. She is helping push it into a bigger and brighter future.